First, a flouting of legal and environmental norms. Second, desperate protests by citizens who've taken ill. Third, a shutdown of the copper smelter in reaction. And fourth, a reopening within months of the shutdown. Vedanta Sterlite is used to this rehearsed loop of events. Will this time be different? Also, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been trying to act east instead of just look east when it comes to India's Asian neighbours. The question is, will he succeed in getting past the dragon in the room? It's Wednesday, May 30th. After 100 days of protest and the loss of 13 lives to police firing, the Tamil Nadu government this week ordered Vedanta's Sterlite copper smelter in Thoothukudi to shut down. But this isn't the first time the plant has been turned off. Let's take a look back at Sterlite's history in Thoothukudi. October 1994. After reportedly being turned away by Gujarat, Goa and Maharashtra because of environmental concerns, Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Jayalalitha laid the foundation stone for the plant in Thoothukudi, prompting opposition from residents and environmentalists. January 1997. Despite legal challenges to its environmental clearances, the plant begins operating, producing 391 tons of copper anode every day. Within months of its inauguration, residents and workers from around the plant began complaining of coughing, choking and headaches. November 1998. The legal challenge from where it began operating led to a study by the National Environmental Engineering Research Institute, which found that the company had violated a number of conditions, from failing to develop a green belt around it to causing gas leaks and contaminating the water. Most disturbingly, it was established that the plant had been allowed to come up just 14 kilometers from the protected Gulf of Mannar, though its license required it to be 25 kilometers away. As a result, the plant was shut down for the first time. But this lasted only a few days, after which it was reopened and another report sought. March 1999, 11 workers at an All India radio station near the plant were hospitalized due to a gas leak. But the Pollution Board did not find any fault with the smelter. Moreover, it allowed Sterlite to ramp up production from 40,000 tons per year to 70,000 tons per year. September to November 2004, a Supreme Court monitoring committee and the Tamil Nadu Pollution Control Board both find that the plant has been violating rules, producing more than it was permitted and constructing new parts of the smelter without any clearance. Yet, eventually it was given licenses for these also. October 2008, the Tirunelveli Medical College finds a high level of asthma and respiratory tract infections in those living within 5 kilometers of the plant. Regardless, Sterlite continues to increase production from 900 tons every day to 1,200. September 2010, once again the plant is ordered shut by the Madras High Court because of violations of the law and causing heavy pollution. Within days, the Supreme Court stays this order and allows the plant to start up again. March 2013, a massive gas leak, followed by an agitation by locals, prompts the Pollution Board to order another closure of the plant. Following this, the Supreme Court agrees with all petitioners accusing the plant of pollution, but refuses to shut it down, imposing 100 crore rupees fine as a deterrent instead. By June, the plant reopens. In February 2018, Sterlite puts forward a proposal to expand the plant and build a second smelter, doubling its production. This prompts protests from locals and environmentalists to begin anew. Starting with just a few, the protests become much larger. In March 2018, the plant is shut for maintenance even as the protests continue. When Sterlite asks the Pollution Board for permission to reopen, it's rejected. In May 2018, after 100 days of peaceful protests, police opened fire on the thousands gathered to protest the plant, leading to 13 deaths over 2 days. The Madras High Court stays the expansion of the smelter, and as anger over the deaths of the protesters continues, the Tamil Nadu government orders the closure of the plant. With attention still on the Tamil Nadu government and Vedanta, the plant has now been shut. But as the history of the project has shown, Vedanta has often found a way to restart production. How long will the plant stay shut this time? The violent scenes in Tamil Nadu during the Sterlite protests also came with another violation of individual rights that's all too common in India today: an internet shutdown. The Tamil Nadu government ordered telecom companies to restrict data services across the districts of Thoothukudi, Tirunelveli and Kanyakumari from May 23rd to May 27th to prevent the spread of quote-unquote half-truths and provocative messages. The 3 districts in Tamil Nadu are only the latest in a long list of regions of the country that have seen their internet services disrupted by government orders. According to a website that tracks shutdowns, India has seen 55 of them in 2018 already, with not even half the year gone. Compare that to 70 in all of 2017, and it seems like India is probably on track to have well over 100 shutdowns this year. And this is also an area in which India is a global leader. According to Access Now, between January 2016 and September 2017, there were 116 shutdowns globally. Almost half of them came from India. The country that came second on that list, Pakistan, had just 10 shutdowns in the same period, compared to 54 for India. The government may think such shutdowns help improve law and order, but they also come at a very real cost to people's lives, especially as more and more services and businesses rely on the internet. An Indian Council for Research and International Economic Relations report earlier this year found that 16,315 hours of internet shutdown in India cost the economy approximately $3.04 billion during the period of 2012 to 2017. Activists who've looked at the use of internet shutdown point to the worrying increase in how the government relies on this tool as a response to a law and order situation without weighing the costs of disrupting people's lives. Though the government framed laws that a shutdown order can only come from an authority above a certain level, the rules have done nothing to arrest the pace at which shutdowns are increasing. If you look at the government's drive to move essential services online, it has left some asking,
हॉस्पिटल में ऑनलाइन अपॉइंटमेंट से लेकर टेलीमेडिसिन तक.
Can the country that orders more internet shutdowns than any other also hope to realize the dream of digital India? Prime Minister Narendra Modi may have upgraded India's policy towards Southeast Asia from look east to act east in 2014. But ties in the region remain a work in progress. Over the coming week, Modi will get another chance to inject some energy into ties with the Southeast Asian countries as he sets off on a 3-nation tour. Modi began his trip with a 3-day visit to Indonesia at the invitation of President Joko Widodo. The big headline from this trip is expected to be an agreement that India will get military and economic access to the island of Sabang, which sits close to the Malacca Strait through which much of the world's oil travels. Modi will also make a brief halt in Malaysia to meet Prime Minister Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, whose coalition managed an unexpected victory in recent elections. From Malaysia, Modi makes his way to Singapore, where among other things, he will be meeting with top CEOs from the city-state and will also unveil a plaque at Clifford Pier where Mahatma Gandhi's ashes were immersed in the sea. But the flagship moment comes on June 1st, when Modi gives the keynote speech at the Shangri-La Dialogue, an annual summit that brings together political and military leaders from across the Asia-Pacific region. Modi is expected to discuss his understanding of India's presence in the region, which after many years of relative peace and some prosperity, is suddenly facing a chance in great power equations that could have lasting impacts. This is where Modi would be expected to address the dragon in the room, China. For years now, countries in Southeast Asia have looked to New Delhi to provide a counterweight to Beijing. But India has been unable to step into that role, partly because it's reluctant to do so, and partly because it simply cannot keep up with China. Beijing has also been getting more belligerent in the region, ploughing investments in, but also testing the territorial resolve of countries. India alone may not be able to counter this, but the hope for some was that New Delhi would work with Washington DC and Tokyo as a counterbalance. But the arrival of US President Donald Trump has confused matters. India will still help host the Malabar naval exercises next month, bringing together India's navy with that of the US and Japan, which helps in sending a message to China. But Modi has been wary of trusting Trump and so is salvaging his bets, continuing to cooperate closely with Iran and Russia as well. On Friday, as Modi becomes the first Indian leader to give the keynote speech at the Shangri-La Dialogue, we should get the clearest idea yet of how this government envisions India's role in Asia. Till then, have a great day.